To the tournament report of Warhammer Underworlds 3 at the Dragons Gaming Club in Halle. So we returned to the event where I won my very first tournament in ever last year, after decennia of close finishes in a variety of games. And this time for the second edition of Underworlds and still no other games under the belt bar the ones from the Mines of a Lost tournament, I would bring Iron Soul's Condemners. At first I wanted to take the Thorns of the Briar Queen with a total no combat required deck, which like the Paths of Prophecy would be all or nothing to work. And then I thought, frack off, I'm going to vie for the win, no need to be nice. Especially as I expected a lot of Gardeners and a lot of Jaws. And then it helps to have constant accurate 2 damage attacks even when uninspired. But there was a twist, it was Nemesis format, so one needs to blend 2 decks together, find synergies and fine tune the deck. Which obviously I didn't get to do, so I would have to go in with a raw concoction and see how it would go. So I went hyper aggressive approach, raise your hand, one guy who is surprised at this. With a Reckless Fury deck filled out with Blazing Assault. The latter had been nerfed, but still it has some great cards and well, you can just fill it up with the Blazing Assault objectives, where you can get the bad cards out. I'm looking at you, Annihilation, and switching some decent scoring 2 and 3 glory ones instead. So it's clobbering time. We return to the cozy cellar of Mishra's playground for some good card chucking and dice rolling fun. And my first game put me against Peter and his Jaws of Itzel, so a very aggressive game was in the making. However, the Condemners, or better said its pilot, are just that bit more aggressive and aided with the dice in the first round steamrolled over the Lizardman. When the dust settled, Iron Soul took back an 18-10 victory home. For the second game I was paired against Arnaud, and he brought Margwaite's Blade Coven, in which was actually a very difficult matchup using Pillage and Plunder. The agile elves just kept running around and away, but eventually I did manage to catch them and grabbed a 17-13 victory. During the lunch break, the voting was done for the best painting, and the results in the end were as follows, with every player allowing to cast 3 votes. You can also see a small video clip on my shorts detailing all the bands that were present. At first place, Nico with Spyglass Swarm, followed by Peter van den Bossen with Grandfather's Gardeners. Simon's Borgis Beast Grabbers were third, while Wim with the Ember Watch ended in fourth. Myself and Arnaud, he with Morgwaite and I with my Iron Souls, we ended up tied in 5th place. And the Jaws of Witzel and the Grimwatch of Vincent didn't score any points, unfortunately. But then, McDonald's. And off we went for the second half of the event. Now tied at the lead with Nico, whose Spyglass Swarm had been amassing glory with 2 20+ wins, we faced off. Unfortunately, his little rats proved no match for my Ironclad Warriors, who, as I say, I went first after his backup leader and then after his leader, so the other ones wouldn't come back. And when the dust settled, there was a 22-10 victory on the board. That meant it was time for the finale, and facing me was Vincent and his Pillage and Plundering Grimwatch. There were just too much ghouls to keep in check, though he crawled through the needle at times. In my first charge, Brodus reached Crack Meadow, but while the dice worked perfectly so far, he missed, and I had Outburst in hand. Might have scored a lucky finisher and took out his leader in the first turn, but it was not to be. In the second round, Tavian missed no less than 3 times his attacks to take his leader out, so the ghouls kept coming back. And in the final moment, and really the final moment of the game, he defended with a ghoul against an attack from Brodus. His leader was by then finally taken out, on the one ghoul that hadn't charged, allowing me to score Unrelenting Massacre and a bounty for the ghoul had I succeeded and scored 4 points. But alas, he defended and I went down with a 21-24 defeat. See how close it was. It really came down to this very last defense roll because we both had a critical success and a normal success on the roll. So yeah, that was a close. The Condemners had given their all, but in the final result they had to settle for 2nd place. This yielded me a nice little certificate as well as some very interesting lecture though. Add to that the pretty stagger tokens we got as a participation gift, and a heap of Star Trek attack wing that I found under the staircase in a dusky box, and you can see in all its glory below. It was a really good deal. It was 19 packs and I paid €30 for it. So that was a big success for me. Though after all the rumors I got in Aalst, it seems I can't come in the store without hauling bags full of old stuff home. The full result as such of the tournament with scores in glory added was as followed. Vincent with the Grimwatch added 3-1 with 85 glory. Myself with the Iron Soul Condemners also 3-1 but only 78 glory. Nico and his Spyclaw Swarms added 2-2 with 66 glory. Peter Vandenbroek with the Joss Vitzel 2-2 with 60 glory. Wim with the Emberwatch 2-2 with 59 glory. Arnaud with the Morgwaite's Blade Coven 2-2 with 55 glory. And Peter van den Bossen with Grandfather's Gardeners 2-2 with 50 glory. Simon came in last with only 45 glory at a 0-4 rate. So not bad for not getting around to try out and tune the deck on weekdays like before. But now it's time to concoct something for the Mines of Alas 2 in June, where I will be taking Cyreni's Razors to the party, because I don't have. Unless the rumored Khazars appear before that, then any other warband is null and void for the rest of this existence of this game for me, of course. So thanks Johan for organizing this, as well as for all the additional pictures to put in the little report, and I see you all next time for more Underworlds goodness. Bye bye.